Liverpool transfer news just took a dramatic turn. Hugo Ekitike's transfer exit agreement was almost done, until a direct Liverpool phone call forced a sudden U-turn. What was said, and why did everything change at the last moment? And that's not all. Inter have now opened talks for Curtis Jones, but Liverpool are being forced to wait as another Premier League club holds the key. Welcome to Anfield Central, your trusted home for Liverpool transfer news and updates. If you want clear, reliable Liverpool coverage without the noise, hit subscribe now. Because coming up, there's a powerful figure preparing to expose secrets linked to Liverpool, a transfer that collapsed before a shock Chelsea move, and a Manchester United decision that could raise serious questions at Anfield. Stay with us, let's get into it.
Hugo Ekitike's agreement for transfer exit and Liverpool phone call that forced U-turn. Hugo Ekitike will line up for Liverpool against Newcastle United on Saturday night in a Premier League clash that carries plenty of subplots. The 23-year-old striker arrives in strong form, having already scored 13 goals this season since joining the Reds. For Newcastle supporters, it may feel like a case of what might have been. Ekitike was close to a move to St James's Park before Liverpool stepped in late, and that decision means he will now face Eddie Howe's side at Anfield wearing red. Newcastle's recruitment team had worked extensively last summer to secure Ekitike's signature and were believed to be on the verge of completing the deal. But Arne Slot's Liverpool intervened at the final moment, dramatically changing the player's destination. In an added twist, Liverpool later went on to sign Alexander Isak as well, effectively taking what could have been Newcastle's preferred strike partnership in one decisive swoop. It was a move that reshaped the attacking landscape for both clubs. Ahead of the weekend fixture, Ekitike was asked about the reception he expects from the travelling Newcastle fans. His response was direct and unapologetic. "I don't care. I play for Liverpool. I have my fans here. We played at Newcastle already and won, so I just want to play and help the team. It's simple." He also confirmed how close the Newcastle move had been, while making clear that his heart was set on Anfield. "Obviously, we were close, but I made my choice. I knew where I wanted to come," he explained. Ekitike spoke passionately about the support he has received from Liverpool fans since arriving. "Their support means a lot. I play for the fans. They give me so much energy." He added that hearing his name sung even when he hasn't scored is something he dreamed of growing up. "It's a great feeling. I'm grateful, and I want to give more to make them happy. We have the quality here, and I really believe things will go well." The details behind the near-miss move to Newcastle were later confirmed by Ekitike's agent, Ali Barat. Speaking to Tutto Sport, Barat revealed just how advanced the negotiations had been. "I was working on behalf of Eintracht Frankfurt to bring him to Newcastle. I stayed in Germany for 10 days. We agreed everything with the club and the player, then Liverpool called him and he chose Anfield." Newcastle manager Eddie Howe had made no secret of his admiration for the forward. "There's no doubting that I really like Hugo," Howe said at the time. "He's someone we've tracked for numbers of years." Ekitike's impact for Liverpool has continued to grow, highlighted by his recent Champions League goal against Qarabag. His performances have not gone unnoticed by club legends either. Steven Gerrard was full of praise after that European display. "I love this kid. I think he's just going to get better and better. What a signing he's been so far." Gerrard also highlighted the developing understanding between Ekitike and his teammates, pointing to the timing of passes and finishes. He believes the striker is evolving quickly and forming key connections that could define Liverpool's season. As Liverpool prepare to host Newcastle, the focus will once again be on Ekitike, this time not as a transfer target, but as a central figure in Liverpool's present and future plans.
Inter Milan have opened talks over a potential move for Liverpool midfielder Curtis Jones as the January transfer window approaches its final days. The discussions centre on a possible loan deal, but any progress depends on developments elsewhere in the market. Curtis Jones is now being linked with an exit from Anfield, despite Liverpool still being active in the final phase of the window. While much of the focus is usually on incoming transfers, this latest report suggests a departure could be on the table before Monday's deadline. Liverpool currently sits 6th in the Premier League and are preparing to host Newcastle United at Anfield on Saturday night. Arne Slot would ideally want Jones available for selection, especially after the midweek Champions League win over Qarabag due to illness. However, there is now a genuine possibility that Jones could leave before the window closes. Reports indicate that Inter Milan have begun talks with Liverpool over a move to Serie A ahead of Monday's cutoff. Inter are understood to be exploring a loan deal that would run until the end of the season, with an option to make the transfer permanent in the summer. At this stage, no final agreement has been reached between the clubs. Crucially, any move for Jones appears to be linked to Inter's own squad situation. The Italian side's interest is said to hinge on Davide Fratesi leaving the San Siro to join Nottingham Forest. Fratesi is believed to be edging closer to a switch to Forest, and his departure would open the door for Inter to push ahead with Jones as a replacement. Until that deal is resolved, Liverpool are effectively forced to wait. From Liverpool's perspective, Jones has been a regular part of the squad this season. He has made 29 appearances in all competitions, although only 10 of those have been Premier League starts. His role has varied, and he was left on the bench for last weekend's defeat to Bournemouth. That situation has only added to the speculation surrounding his future as the deadline approaches. With time running out, Arne Slot was asked whether Liverpool could still be active in the transfer market over the coming days. The manager remained deliberately guarded in his response. "You promise me you're not going to ask me post-match as well?" Slot said, before adding, "If we think we've addressed a player that can help us and think it's possible, then we will do so." He went on to explain that discussions are ongoing behind the scenes, even if they are not happening publicly. When pressed on whether a deal looked unlikely, Slot refused to be drawn into specifics. "Why is it unlikely?" he replied. "I think the answer I gave. It's up to you whether that means it's likely or unlikely." As things stand, there has been no public confirmation from Fabrizio Romano on Curtis Jones's situation, suggesting the talks remain at an early and delicate stage. With Monday's deadline looming, the next move may depend entirely on events unfolding away from Anfield.
Gareth Southgate set for a new role as he vows to expose secrets with ex-Liverpool chief. Gareth Southgate is stepping into a new chapter of his football career, away from the touchline and into the heart of the game's power structures. After leaving his role as England manager following the Euro 2024 final defeat to Spain, the 55-year-old has so far resisted a return to club management, despite links with teams such as Manchester United. Instead, Southgate has suggested his future may lie outside traditional coaching. He has now confirmed the launch of a new podcast called The Football Boardroom, marking a clear shift in direction and focus. The podcast will see Southgate joined by former Liverpool and Aston Villa executive Christian Purslow, alongside respected journalist Henry Winter. Together, they aim to explore how major football decisions are really made behind closed doors. In announcing the project, Southgate said the idea was born directly from his experiences during 8 years in charge of England. He explained that while attending Premier League matches to assess players, he was regularly invited into club boardrooms across the country. Those visits, he said, were not just about football matters on the pitch. They involved building relationships with managers, sporting directors, chief executives, and, when present, club owners. Southgate revealed that this added up to more than 1,000 opportunities to observe how clubs truly function. He spoke about witnessing the decisions, internal dynamics, and personalities that shape the modern game. Reflecting on those experiences, Southgate said they offered a rare insight into the business side of football and the people who control it. According to him, success or failure is often influenced by factors far beyond tactics, training sessions, or match days. He pointed to what he described as a bigger game played off the pitch, a world driven by money, power, and politics, frequently conducted behind closed doors where the stakes are exceptionally high. Southgate made it clear that the aim of the football boardroom is to open those doors and give fans a clearer understanding of how elite football really works. One of the key figures featured on the podcast will be Christian Purslow, whom Southgate dealt with during his time as England manager. Purslow served as Aston Villa's chief executive from 2018 to 2023. Before that, Purslow held senior roles at several top clubs. As Liverpool's managing director between 2009 and 2010, he oversaw the controversial sale of the club from owners Tom Hicks and Jill Gillette to Fenway Sports Group. Purslow also spent 3 years at Chelsea as head of global commercial activities between 2014 and 2017, giving him a broad perspective on football at the highest level. With Southgate's insider experience and Purslow's boardroom background, the podcast promises a rare look into how modern football is shaped away from the pitch. For fans, it could offer answers that questions are usually left unanswered. If you want more stories like this, deeper context, and the latest football developments, make sure you subscribe and stay with us.
I thought Liverpool transfer was done, then I joined Chelsea after turning down Arsenal.
Loic Remy has revealed how he came within touching distance of signing for Liverpool in 2014, only for the move to collapse before a dramatic switch to Chelsea. What looked like a straightforward transfer turned into one of the more complicated deals of that summer window. The French striker had impressed on loan at Newcastle from QPR during the 2013-14 season, scoring 14 goals and providing 3 assists in 27 appearances. His form quickly drew interest from several Premier League clubs, with Liverpool emerging as strong favourites under Brendan Rodgers. Liverpool went as far as activating the £8.5 million release clause in Remy's QPR contract. He even joined the club on their pre-season tour in the United States, with the deal widely considered done. However, the transfer collapsed after reports of a failed medical. Then QPR manager Harry Redknapp insisted at the time that Remy was very fit and said it was not possible he had failed the medical, but Liverpool chose not to take the risk. Speaking to Ladbrokes, Remy explained how close he felt to becoming a Liverpool player. He recalled being on holiday when his agent called that Liverpool wanted to sign him and that the club were training in Boston. Remy described a frantic journey to retrieve his passport, travelling from France to Paris before flying straight to Boston to join Liverpool's squad. Once there, he met the players, completed interviews, and underwent his medical. He said everything felt like a dream, and in his mind, the move was complete. Remy even kept a photo of himself holding a Liverpool scarf, believing he was already a Liverpool player. 2 days later, he was told there was an issue with the medical and the deal was off. Although deeply disappointed, Remy accepted Liverpool's decision and returned to London, preparing to resume training with QPR. Interest in him did not fade, and Chelsea soon moved quickly to secure his signature. Arsenal also made a late push, but Remy said he felt Chelsea were more sincere in their approach. He explained that Arsenal only contacted his agent right at the end of the window, asking him not to sign for Chelsea. By that point, Remy was already at Cobham, had passed his medical, and felt it was too late to change direction. Remy chose Chelsea, believing Arsenal should have shown concrete interest much earlier. Looking back, he described it as a chaotic and intense decision made under serious time pressure. Although his Chelsea career produced 12 goals in 47 appearances and lasted 3 years, Remy played a role in winning the Premier League and League Cup in his first season under Jose Mourinho. In his own words, it was a complicated move, but one that still brought major trophies.
Man United told to block an unthinkable Scott McTominay transfer, as Liverpool question raised. Scott McTominay has been told that if he ever returns to the Premier League, there should only be one destination. The message is clear from Manchester United legend Teddy Sheringham, who believes United must remain the only English club McTominay ever represents. The 28-year-old left Old Trafford in 2024 after 22 years at the club, completing a £25 million move to Napoli. Since arriving in Italy, McTominay has completely transformed his career and status within the game. McTominay played a key role in Napoli's Serie A title triumph last season, earning both the Serie A MVP and Serie A Footballer of the Year awards. His impact was further recognized with his first ever Ballon d'Or nomination, cementing his place as a fan favorite in Naples. Despite settling well in Italy, McTominay has spoken openly about his affection for Manchester United, the club he supported growing up. While a return to Old Trafford appears unlikely in the near future, Sheringham believes United must protect their legacy with the midfielder. Speaking in an exclusive interview via Mr. Q, Sheringham said it would be a travesty if McTominay returned to England wearing the shirt of another Premier League club. He insisted that Manchester United cannot afford to miss out if McTominay ever comes back. The former striker, who was part of United's historic treble-winning side in 1999, also admitted he was strongly against McTominay's sale to Napoli in the first place. He believes United are currently lacking exactly the type of player McTominay has become. Sheringham said he is devastated watching McTominay thrive elsewhere while United continue to struggle in midfield. He described McTominay as a player who fights, drives standards, and makes things happen when a team is under pressure. While Sheringham remains critical of United's decision, he was keen to stress that he is delighted for McTominay on a personal level. He praised the midfielder for seizing his opportunity in Italy and elevating his career. Despite ongoing midfield concerns, Manchester United showed resilience on Sunday with a dramatic 3-2 away win over Arsenal. That result lifted them to 4th place in the Premier League table, offering some relief amid continued debate over past transfer decisions.